Have you ever wondered how and why this famous, beautiful site was ever built? Oh, well, hi, my name is Ria Chow, and I'm here to talk to you today about how aliens built the Great Pyramids of Egypt. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually here to talk to you today about how other people believe that aliens built the Great Pyramids of Egypt, but how I found trustworthy information to prove those people wrong.
Oh!
Thank you. Okay, now let us begin. So, history. There are hundreds of pyramids in Egypt, but for my project, I'm going to focus on the Great Pyramid of Giza. In Giza, there are 3 pyramids built, but the Great Pyramid of Giza was finished in 2560 BCE, and it took about 20 years to complete. And it is actually one of the most controversial historical sites because nobody knows exactly how and why such a massive site was ever built by such an early civilization. So that is why people create conspiracy theories, people can create arguments, and people create their own claims because they just truly believe that aliens are the only things that could have possibly made such a huge site. So, as I did my research and I looked about how what people said and about what they believed and how they claimed that aliens built the pyramid, I came to 3 major arguments, right? Okay, so the first argument was that aliens must have used their knowledge and technology to help the Egyptians have the pyramid truly face the direction of the North Pole, because compasses did not exist 5,000 years ago. So in this argument, they're basically saying just because compasses weren't a thing back in an early civilization, aliens are the only answer. I got this generalized argument from the website titled Outer Worlds, and I believe that the author has a flaw in reasoning in the sense that there is insufficient evidence and the author has failed to consider other relevant evidence. He didn't provide any other evidence to show that Egyptians could have used another technique or material other than a compass. Then I did research on the source itself. The author of the website, whose name was not stated, said that he got all of his information from a book titled Mystic Places, Mysteries of the Unknown, as shown right there. So then I did my research on where this book came from, and the creators are a company called Time Life. And they are a private company known for their entertainment field for the public. So already, that shows that this book is unreliable for the author of the website to be using, because why would an entertainment company who creates movies write such a book about trying to scientifically prove that aliens exist? Then I also tried looking for a specific author of the book, and I came across one on Amazon, and it said that it was edited by a man named George Constable. So then I looked him up. And he's most well known for being in the Olympics because he was a British long-distance runner, and he's also a freelance writer about science and technology books. When it comes to understanding, why would a British long-distance runner write science and technology books and then edit a story about trying to prove that aliens are the ones who built the pyramids? Who knows, right? But then you could come to the conclusion that the 3 sources that this claim is coming from, the Outer Worlds website, the Time Life company, and the editor of that book themselves, are completely unreliable because they don't have positive and background information to truly back up themselves to say that, yes, we are providing beneficial information to the public. Therefore, the argument number 1 is most likely false. Also, I tried to find scientific information to counter-argue that claim, and I came across a YouTube video from a channel named It's Okay to Be Smart, and the creator is Joe Hansen, and he has a PhD in biology. And yes, one may question, why is he talking about such a topic such as aliens and pyramids, and how do we know where all of his information is coming from? But he does indeed give his own sources and other sites at the end of the video to provide more information for the public to look into on how he was able to make such a scientific claim. So here's a clip of his video explaining how the Egyptians did such a perfect alignment to the North Pole without a compass.
And its edges are aligned to the compass within 3/60ths of a degree. This precision is pretty incredible since compasses didn't actually exist yet, and since 4,500 years ago, the North Star was in a completely different place. But finding north is actually pretty easy. Just watch where any star rises and sets during the night and cut the angle in half. After that, squaring the sides just requires measuring a right angle. Pythagoras and his equation came way later, but ancient cultures like the Egyptians knew a 3-4-5 triangle made a 90-degree corner. They could even make a right angle with two.
So argument number 2. It says that aliens must have used their own technology and strength to build such a massive piece of work for the Egyptians because the pyramids were finished in such a short amount of time, taking into consideration that each block of stone that was stacked upon each other to build the pyramid weighed at least 2 tons, which is 4,000 pounds, and that the use of advanced technology for transportation and lifting did not exist. I found this claim on the YouTube channel All Time Conspiracies, and after I looked it up, it is actually one of the most popular conspiracy theory channels. And for this an argument, once again, I believe it has a flaw in reasoning in the sense that it fails to consider other relevant evidence or causes. The author of the claim did not take into consideration that there could have been other tools used for transportation and building. For all of their videos, they provide sources to find where they get their information from. So, I did the research and I was able to pull up 3 out of the 6 sources stated. One of the sources is called Armagh Planet, but as I looked it up, it is just a planetarium in Ireland, and there are no specific writings to be found about anybody from that location talking about and trying to prove that aliens built the pyramids. Then another source is called Alien Hub, and it is shut down now, but I looked up the history and background of it, and it was basically an online place where people all over could come and talk about aliens, paranormal activity, and much more of the unknown. And lastly, a website titled Exemplar was able to load, and it is just like Alien Hub, but it actually shows like different articles written by different users. So then I looked up an article about aliens building the pyramids, and that is where the YouTube video got the information from. But still no author has been stated. But due to the fact that there is a flaw in reasoning, one can come to the conclusion that this argument is untrustworthy, and also the source itself and its other sources are unreliable. As a matter of fact, from the same YouTube video by It's Okay to Be Smart, here are some clips of him explaining how the Egyptians were able to finish in such a short amount of time with so much material to carry and move.
We found Egyptian boats large enough to have floated these stones down the Nile, but how were 2 million blocks actually moved into place? Paintings tell us Egyptians used wooden sleds to move large objects, but they still had to deal with friction. Burying wood rails horizontally will allow a sled to slide more freely, but researchers at the University of Amsterdam showed in 2014 that sand has an interesting property. Wetting it with the right amount of water makes it remarkably slick. A team of 10 workers can easily pull a 1-ton sled. But people always seem to forget that Egyptians had animals, like donkeys and cattle around to help too. An engineer named Craig Smith has done probably the most detailed ramp analysis, calculating how many stones could be delivered with each design, and he believed the Egyptians extended a big, wide ramp near the bottom, where a pyramid requires most of its stone, and then spiral ramps near the top, where fewer blocks were needed.
Then from the same video by All Time Conspiracies, they made a very straightforward claim stating that Egyptians were given supernatural powers from aliens to be able to build such a great monument. According to the video, the speaker claimed that such an argument was supposedly stated by a man named Eric von Daniken. As I did my research about him, I was able to find that he was a Swiss author most well known for his book Chariots of the Gods, because it sparked a controversy at the time through his questioning of, was God an astronaut? Also, he was labeled as one who provides false information about history and science. So, from this, I believe that this claim and its sources are completely unreliable because, once again, no evidence was stated with the claim, and the source does not have a good reputation with the information he provides to the public. So, after all of this, I'd like to say that aliens building the Great Pyramid is false, because after the 3 arguments that I provided, you were shown that barely any evidence was given, and the sources that they cited were completely unreliable. And it's just because of the fact that since there isn't any photographical evidence or there's no blueprints stating and showing how the pyramid was built, and there's no people alive today to talk about how such magnificent site was built. I think that those are the main reasons to why people just start making their own theories, making their own thoughts, and that's why aliens come into mind, because aliens are known to be as like the greater mind, so they just think that an early civilization was not able to do that, but it was a greater mind that was able to do that. But even today, there's still historians, there's still archaeologists, there's still scientists. There's still so many people out there in the world that are trying to prove scientifical and historical claims to be true. But it's just us and everybody else in society are deciding what they want to believe in. So you choose what you want to believe in, but also enjoy all the magnificent sights all around the world, such as the Great Pyramid that people are still trying to figure out today.